LaSalle College of Arts and Sciences Mathematics Department. We'll be continuing with our series of videos we call the Algebra 101, if you can remember, if you're following it. We're now on our fourth video on under functions. It's a selected topic again, so this is an evaluation of functions. This is the continuation of our previous video, which is functional notation, if you can remember. And before we end that video, I have given you an exercise to answer. Okay, and in this video we're going to answer that exercise. Okay, so again, remember, evaluation of functions is simply which means finding the value of f of x. So how can we get the value of f of x? That is our output value. We simply substitute the value of x into the independent variables here. Okay, after that we can get our output value, which is our y or our f of x or g of x or h of x. Again, f is just the name of a function. So let's start with letter A here. A is f of x equals x cubed minus 1. So we're going to plug in this x equals minus 1 here, and then we'll get the value of f of x. That's our y, our output value. So we're going to input our x in our independent variable and get the output. So if we're going to do that here, so this x will become minus 1 because our x, all the x's here on the right hand side will be changed to minus 1. So this will become f of minus 1 is equal to, this is x cubed, so x becomes minus 1, this becomes negative 1 cubed, minus 1. So negative 1 cubed is like saying, you know, negative 1 multiplied by itself 3 times. So negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is going to give us negative 1 still. Okay, so this is going to give us negative 1 minus 1. So negative 1 minus 1 is surely going to give us negative 2. So f of negative 1 is equal to negative 2. Hopefully you got that right. Okay, so that's letter A. So f of negative 1 is equal to negative 2. Let's go to the letter B now. So letter B says that g of x is equal to the absolute value of x minus 2. So again, we need to plug in this x of negative 1 here, and then this g of x will become g of negative 1. Okay, so g of negative 1 is equal to the absolute value of negative 1. This is our former x. It becomes negative 1 now because we plugged it in. We substituted minus 1. So negative 1 minus 2, or minus 2 rather, sorry. So negative 1 minus 2 is going to give us negative 3. So g of negative 1 is equal to the absolute value of negative 3. So you know the power of these absolute value bars, like all the numbers inside these bars will become positive. So instead of writing minus 3, this will become positive 3. So g of negative 1 is equal to positive 3. Okay, hopefully you got it right also here. A little explanation. Remember the concept of absolute values. Why does this become positive? Because the concept of absolute values tells us that how far away is this number from the origin, 0. So how far is negative 3 from 0? That is 3 steps. Okay, so let's proceed to letter C now. So letter C is h of x equals the square root of 3 plus x squared. So the same thing happens. We will plug in this negative 1 here and then change this h into h of negative 1. So we will have it here. So x squared, that becomes negative 1 squared. So negative 1 times negative 1 will give us positive 1. So 3 plus 1, working on the right hand side. H of negative 1 is equal to square root of 4. So what is square root of 4? So h of negative 1 is equal to 2. Well, square root of 4 is positive and negative 2. It should be like that, sorry. But I am just getting the absolute positive of the answer here. So there's no indication of a negative sign outside. So this will be automatically an absolute positive. We call that in the terminologies. So square root of 4 is equal to positive 2. Well, if you write negative 2, it's still going to be alright. I haven't emphasized it, I'm sorry. So 2 or negative 2. Okay, hopefully you got it right also here. So to wrap it up, we have our answers for A. F of x equals x cubed minus 1 is equal to minus 2. If we're going to substitute it by negative 1. G of x is equal to x minus 2. The absolute value of x minus 2. If we're going to plug negative 1, it's going to become positive 3. And h of x equals the square root of quantity 3 plus x squared is equal to 2 if we're going to plug in negative 1. So that's it for our videos for evaluation of functions. Hopefully you got it. And we're going to post more videos soon. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our page, and follow our Facebook page. It's over here. Hit and like our YouTube channel, rather, and follow and like our Facebook page. Okay, thank you so much. See you soon.